Right. Okay. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Myth-Busting Locksmith. Now, today I wanted to show you the simple resolution to a really annoying problem that I have come across and I know other people will come across. So, what we are talking about today is Hafley cupboard locks. So, this is a Hafley cupboard lock. It is very simple and it has Hafley on the back. This is also a Hafley lock. It is also very simple and it also says Hafley on the back. Now, the major difference between these two is the one on the right, this one here, is slightly bigger than the one on the left. The square base is marginally bigger. It's like maybe 2 millimeters bigger, and it is maybe a little tiny bit wider. Now, when you're putting these in a cupboard, it might not matter. I had a customer today, he had lots of these, and everybody had a master key and a key that would open all of these. So what he wanted was replacements of these with new ones where everybody had an individual key and they couldn't get in each other's lockers. So I ordered Hafley cupboard locks. They look the same, they act the same, give it a couple of millimeters and they pretty much are the same, and the holes are almost in exactly the same place. So I went along and I tried to fit it. And what I discovered was this. This one here was the original ones in the locker. And because they've got lockers all beside each other, this was in the door. And of course, this little plate here went behind a metal plate here, locked it in place. But of course, the metal plate was up against the edge of the locker. So a bolt being any longer than this is not going to fit. This is not going to fit if it's longer than this in the cupboard, because it's going to hit the edge of the cupboard. And I can't dig holes in the side of the cupboard because there are lockers next door. So what I found when I went along was I had one of these, and as you can see, the bolt is massive. So I thought, what are my options? Am I going to have to go home and cut off this bolt, try and smooth it and make it look nice like this one looks nice, make it look neat and tidy, and then go back and fit it, and hope the fact that this is slightly thicker as well, and also the squares are slightly different shape. Am I going to, shape, they're slightly different sizes. Am I going to struggle to put the screws in the cupboard? Absolute disaster, day one, because they're both Hafley cupboard locks. How can I tell the difference? So, for new locksmiths and new locksmiths alone, here is your answer. What you do, first of all, you make sure that your cupboard locks, there's the one you don't want, there's the one you do want. What you want is, you want the original shell, you want the original blade, but you need a new cylinder. This is the new shell, the new blade, and the new cylinder, and it is too big. So what you do is you go out and you buy yourself a Hafley release key. You make sure that your lock is unlocked. If it is locked or the blade can be seen, it will not work. And what you do is you simply put it in, you push it down firmly, you twist it to the right slightly, this way, very slightly, and you pull out your cylinder. And you come to your new lock, which has got the cylinder that you want, but the shell that you don't want, and you do exactly the same. And you move this, and you put this across here. It will only go in one way, so make sure you get it the right way round, and that the key is in the end. If the key is not in the end properly, it won't push up this wafer at the top and the bottom when it is in the lock, and it won't push it. So if you try and put it in the wrong way around, for starters, it won't sit properly. You have to put it the correct way round. You put it in the correct way around, it is completely flush, and then you pull your key out. If you don't put the key in properly, the two wafers at the end won't pull in when you apply it to the lock. When you pull out the lock, the wafers pop out and it locks it in place. So if we go key, okay, it will now not come out the lock because it is secure. Because what will happen is when you push this in, two wafers get pulled in, the cylinder comes out. You pull the key out, the wafers pop out, and they will lock, and they will not move when you put the new key in. So now you have a new cylinder with a new key in your old shell with your old blade, which is short, which is what you want, All you have changed is the cylinder. So, let's put that there for you. You then get your new cylinder with your new lock, and you can pop this again flush in here, and you pull this out and you put your keys in, and of course the key won't pull out the cylinder, but there you have your lock with a larger blade. So I hope this is not too confusing, but basically if you want to swap these around, because one has the correct shell and the correct blade size, and the other has the wrong shell and the wrong blade size but has the cylinder that you want because it's a different cylinder, because it's a new one, so they won't have it. Key goes in, make sure the blade is in, key goes in, twist it slightly, pull it out. You want the new cylinder in the old lock. You want the old lock, sorry, the old cylinder in the new lock. So it won't fit in, so you turn it around, you push it in, it goes flush, you pull the key out. Right, so now you have your lock that you bought, which the blade is too long, so you've got your new lock with your new blade. You've now got the old cylinder, because it doesn't matter, it's taken away from their place of work, so you now have a key with a working lock, and that is yours to go in your cupboard. That's it. So what your customer now has is they have their original shell, they have their original blade, but they have their new cylinder with the new keys. Now I don't know how close you can see here, but you see the wafers are sticking out. If you push it right down, the wafer here has gone in. I don't know if you can see that, it pops out, it pops in, and then it goes in. See, it doesn't sit flush, so you turn it around, you put it in, it sits flush, you take the key out, the wafer pops out, release key goes away. So this is the original customer's shell, it is the original customer's blade, and it has new keys, so no one else will have these keys. Where they had this, they now have these, and it works absolutely perfectly every time, and that's it. We hope. Okay, let's just check the other one while we're here. Okay, now the reason I talk about the original lock and the original blade and the new cylinder is because in another video, when we look at Unico locks, which are for glass cabinets, I went along and I had new locks, and the blades on the new locks were the wrong size, but the blades on the old locks were the right size. They were a lot more fiddly to take apart than these, but you can take these apart because they have little screws here and here and two locking pegs there and there. So it goes in, it locks in place, two screws go in, two locking pegs, it just lines it up correctly. This is totally different. This has all been machined in, so you can't take the blade out of this to put it in this, but you could take the blade out of this to put it in another one of the same type. But we've made that obsolete with our release key. Now with Unico locks, we're going to look at another day, it is much easier to take these apart, to take the lock out, to take all the parts out, take the blade that is one size out, to put a new blade which is a different size back in, put it all back together again, same lock, same cylinder, same everything, different size blade. You can also change the cylinder using something like this, but we're not going to do that with the Unico ones. We're simply going to change the blade around, which is why I was emphasising on this original lock, original blade, new cylinder. Because on Unico, when we do it, we're going to have original lock, original cylinder, new blade. So that's it. So do come back and watch the Unico video. It's Unico because they're the ones that make the locks for the glass cabinets, and they're the ones that I use. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you've enjoyed the educational purpose, and now you understand how important it is to have a Hafele release key in your kit, because I've come all the way down from London, and now all I have to do is take 3 of these back, stick them in cupboards, new locks, new cylinder, job done, and I'll have a happy customer. And of course you get the original for your box, so you still have a new lock with a new everything, but you have a cylinder that's now obsolete to the customer and you have their keys. Thank you for watching. Please leave comments and queries below, and join me next time for the Unico video where we will be swapping the blades, leaving everything else in place. And hopefully as you watch these videos it will build up a portfolio of skills and knowledge that you can start to learn how you can mix and match, how you can change combinations, change setups of different things. So when you come to a job you can think, right, if I know how to dissect this and change the blade, and I know how to dissect that and change the cylinder with the right key, I have a whole portfolio of skills that I can put to use when I'm changing cupboard locks and I'm mixing things around, and hopefully it will save you time and it will save you driving to and from places for what should be a simple job. Because of course the other thing to look at is the screw holes here, as I mentioned earlier, are a slightly different place, so you would then have to drill new holes, and the difference between these is so small you will end up chewing a hole in the cupboard just to put the original screws in slightly different places, which is going to be a lot more hassle to do. So this is trying to save you the hassle. I hope it helped. Let me know what you think. Join me next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.